Good day, my fellow engineers, and welcome. My name is Benjamin, and today we are going to be building a bazooka. Let's get right on with the build. Hold on, before we start this video, I would just like to thank everybody who watched my last video. It literally blew up out of proportion. I was not expecting that. I would like to thank everybody on the r/Raspberry Pi Project subreddit, and I would especially like to thank Ash Puckett, who literally wrote an entire article about my video. That's insane. Someone sat down and wrote a professional article about my little video, and that just blows my mind. Thank you guys so much. Let's get on with the build. So I got this idea from a video where a guy literally pulls out a disposable rocket launcher on someone who's yelling at him. I want to be that guy so much. Like, you don't even understand. So the first step to becoming that absolute legend of a man is to acquire a bazooka. But they're like $400 online, and I barely have enough money to buy Taco Bell, so that's off the table. But then I realized, bazookas are pretty simple looking, and I have prop building experience in a 3D printer. I could probably just build one by myself. That's what we're gonna be doing today. So the first thing I did was make a 3D model. This long tube, which is the main body of the bazooka, will be made up of a PVC pipe I found on the ground at my sister's house. This smaller tube right here will be made of a metal pipe, and the rest of the parts will be 3D printed. Now, I hear what you guys are saying. What if I want to do this project at home, but I don't have a 3D printer? Well, most of the detail pieces can be easily made with craft foam and cardboard, so it wouldn't be too difficult to do this project at home. Now, back to the video. So the parts finished 3D printing and they came out great. Well, almost all of them. This back piece was a nightmare to get done. On the first two prints I did with it, these cylinders were too skinny and flimsy, so they broke when I was trying to remove supports. Then I changed the model to make the whole thing thicker and stronger, and I printed it again, and then I dropped it and it broke. So I reprinted it another time and finally ended up with a usable piece. Now that everything is ready, I'm going to assemble the bazooka. Oh, hi there. Welcome to my floor. We're gonna put together our bazooka now. Alright, so I've got all my parts laid out here. These are the outer rings that go on the body. We've got our sight and our handle. This is the shoulder rest that goes on the mid part. And then I've got this back piece which goes on the very end, and then some screws. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this metal ring and put it right on this. Now, just this going on it, it's quite loose and it doesn't really fit. So I've actually taken a 3D printed ring and put it in there so that it fits when we put it on. On the end here, it's still open, and to close that gap, I'm just going to use some more 3D printed rings to close that up. So now it is a solid, stable piece. So the next thing I'm going to do is take these outer rings and stick them on the bazooka. Right here you can see that I've actually put a screw in them to hold them together, because that's how it is on real bazookas, and I wanted it to be as accurate as possible. And I've also added a sling point so you can sling it over your shoulder. I'm going to be using E6000 and regular super glue for this part of the build. So I'm just going to take my shoulder rest here and put on some E6000. This is some heavy-duty industrial adhesive. It's really good for projects like this. The only problem I have with it is that it takes a while to dry, which is where the super glue will come in. So the E6000 will work as a long-term adhesive. The super glue is just there to seal it for now. So I'm just going to put in a couple drops. So now, here we have our bazooka with the first couple steps completed. Next piece we are going to attach is our handle. We're going to use the same method that we used for the shoulder rest, applying some E6000 on the outer parts and then some super glue on the inside to dry it quickly. Right there we have our grip on, which is perfect. We're going to let that dry as well. So this next piece is actually going to be a little more complicated. This right here is going to slide onto the back and have this little piece attached to it, and that should be our final piece. The thing is, I still need to drill a hole in this and put a screw through. So for that, I'm going to go grab my Dremel. As you can see right here, I've cut a hole through this. Now I'm just going to take this screw and thread it on through. Okay, now that it's just threaded in there a little bit, I'm going to grab my screwdriver and take it and screw it all the way in. I think that is good enough to stick on. Oh, this thing is sick, man. Oh, it really came together. Okay, so I'm gonna let this glue dry, and then we will be ready to paint this thing. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start painting. First thing we're gonna paint is our screws that you saw in my room earlier. All right, there we go. That worked a charm. These screws are done. I'm gonna let those dry, then remove them and start on the bazooka. All right, now the screws are dried and I've moved them. So now we are going to spray paint our bazooka with the base green. Look, a dog. It's not my dog, but the dog. Guess that happened. There we go. It is all painted up. I'm still gonna put on a few more coats, but I'll move the camera closer so you can see that it actually is looking very, very snazzy. So these parts, this handle and this shoulder, those are gonna be painted brown, and there's gonna be gold screws in these, and then I'm gonna do a clear coat over the whole thing to just protect the paint, and then it should be finished. Originally I was gonna use old laminate flooring to put wood paneling on those, but it was too bulky and difficult to work with, so I decided to just paint it. It's a new day. I got a new shirt on, and we're gonna put on a new coat of paint. Now, we're gonna put on the brown paint here and here on the handle and the shoulder rest, but we're gonna have to mask off the rest. So, to save me some time, I'm just gonna use 2 trash bags to cover up the vast majority, so that I, don't have to mask it off. Something like that. That pretty much covers everything up. And then I'll mask over the parts that don't get with the trash bag. All right, I have everything masked off right here, and I think it is good enough that I can start painting. I'm hot, I'm sweaty, I'm tired. I think I might be suffering from heat syncope, but I have a bazooka. Look at this thing, it came out so well. All the paint is amazing, the detail came out really well, but I'm not exactly finished with it. There are just a couple more detail pieces I need to add. I need to drill some holes in the shoulder rest to add some screws, and I need to add the little ignition switch. So I'll do that now. So yeah, that's it. The bazooka's done, and it is awesome. I mean, look at this thing. Look at it. Oh my gosh, words don't even describe. Really, really detailed. I love it so much. I'm really, really proud with what I've been able to do here with this build, because with just a minimal amount of prop building experience, I've been able to create a full-size, historically accurate prop, and that is awesome. This is probably the most detailed thing I've ever built, and I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. For those of you asking about where the robot videos are, I have several of them lined up in the future that I'm going to be working on, but I have things coming up before that that aren't robot related. The next 3 videos are going to be centered more around 3D printing and prop building, There is going to be some electronics sprinkled into that, but it's going to be a couple weeks before another robot video comes out. If you enjoyed, like the video. If you didn't enjoy, dislike the video. If you want to subscribe, do that. If you don't want to subscribe, I said it again! If you have a suggestion for a prop I should build in the future or another robot, please leave it in the comments. I am not creative and I need ideas. I hope you all enjoy. Have a great day.